Tonight, we introduce you to two Mississippi State students who risked their lives to save others. I'm Jory Talley, and I'll have that story.
WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A Verona man is accused of assaulting a police officer and an EMT.
This all started when Verona police were called to a home on Holloway Avenue about a domestic disturbance. When they got there, Bart Franks claimed that he needed medical attention. This all happened this past Saturday. Franks allegedly headbutted a police officer and slashed an EMT's arm inside the ambulance with a concealed knife. Chief J.B. Long says Franks is no stranger to officers.
Frank's a guy who moved in here from Iowa maybe 6 months ago, somewhere there, about less than a year. We've had numerous calls to that house, and all of them have been domestic charges on Frank's. We would go there, Frank's always would run off. We would never pretty much ever get a chance to see Frank's. So Saturday was my actual first time actually seeing this guy.
Frank's bond is set at $50,000. The EMT, meanwhile, is recovering from what could have been a life-threatening wound.
Saturday turned out to be a busy day for Verona PD. In a separate incident, a man is accused of trying to provoke officers to shoot him. Police were called to a disturbance and found 27-year-old Rico Lyons with a gun threatening to harm the officers. Lyons also said he wanted police to shoot him. Chief Long says Lyons has a history of mental health issues. Lyons is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault.
And staying there in Verona, bond set at $1 million for a Chickasaw County man charged with murder. 24-year-old Brandon Rucker is accused of killing 17-year-old Lorenzo Wright Jr. Investigators say Rucker turned himself in Friday evening. He made his initial appearance at Lee County Justice Court this morning. Wright was shot Thursday afternoon on Clement Street and died a short time later.
What the judge does anytime certain crimes, the judge wants to send out messages, and you know, in a situation like this, we got 2 losses. We got a loss of Lorenzo Wright. We have a loss from Rucker's family as well. So we got 2 families grieving, but the $1 million bond is just a bond that the judge sets for certain crimes. And so, yes, I have nothing to say negative about the $1 million.
The shooting is Verona's first homicide of the year.
An Alabama woman is in the Monroe County Jail after a traffic stop. Amory police stopped a vehicle on Highway 25 South near Highway 278. Officers say they found meth on Kimberly Cobb. The Kennedy woman is charged with possession of a controlled substance. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He has our first look at our forecast.
Joey, right now it's 6:03. What a great sunset we've had. A perfect day. A live look in Columbus and Tupelo right now. Some twilight developing. We topped out in the mid-70s today. Upper 60s and mid-60s, even a few low 70s still on the map right now. So a little bit warmer today with the southwest wind. A front is coming on in, a cold front. That will move through tonight, but notice there's no rain with that, not even any clouds with it. So we'll have a wind shift later on tonight. Temperatures will be falling from the 60s and 70s now into the upper 40s by 1 o'clock, and our lows tonight down into low to mid 40s, so no freeze, no frost tonight. We're done with that for a while. Your full forecast is coming up.
The cause of the fire at Avalon Apartments is being ruled an undetermined accident. Starkville Fire Chief Charles Yarborough tells WCBI the fire in Building O remains under investigation. Investigators believe the blaze started on the 2nd or 3rd floor, but can't be sure until they get a better look at the damage. The 2 top floors have fallen onto the 1st floor, making the building unstable and dangerous for investigators to enter.
Witnesses are the most important thing, especially in a fire like this, because we really can't get in there and do an investigation, so we basically basing everything on witness statements. Now we can take the witness statements and we can put them together and we can determine pretty much where it started at, how it may have started, but the witness statements are the most important thing in this area right now.
Yarborough says his department is going over 20 witness statements to figure out what happened. He also says arson has been ruled out.
2 roommates and a brother are being called heroes. They woke up to flames surrounding their Avalon apartment and ran out.
Realizing more people were needed to escape, they risked their lives to save others. Our Jory Talley talks exclusively with them today. She joins us live with their story.
Those heroes lived right in here in what used to be the second floor of this building. They were the first ones out of the building and knew they needed to help their neighbors. Firefighters say within minutes they kept people's lives. They saved people's lives and also kept them away from the flames.
It's just God's plan. He put us in the right place at the right time. So, I mean, it's nothing we did.
Colby Carpenter and Kyle McCulloch moved into Avalon Apartments back in July.
That's our grill off of our porch right here on the ground.
Now, their apartment is a pile of charred rubble. The smell of smoke still surrounds Building O after last week's fast-moving fire. Kyle's brother and the roommates were sleeping, preparing for a weekend bachelor party trip.
His brother was on the couch in the living room. Our porch is on the back side back here. And so he woke up and saw the flames out this side and woke me up, and that's when we went. The stairwell was directly through the living room, and we ran down the middle of the building and then back around to the front side, beating on windows on our way.
Starkville Fire Chief Charles Yarbrough says those knocks on doors and windows saved lives. He believes if the young men kept sleeping another couple of minutes, several people would have died.
It felt like 2 hours before we got everybody out, but I don't know how long it actually was. I mean, they said like 3 more minutes, and it, probably would have been some people, wouldn't have made it, but I mean, it felt a lot longer to us.
A few disabled tenants lived in the now destroyed building. Kyle's brother rescued one of them, while Kyle and Colby heard a mom with 2 kids yelling for help because she couldn't get her disabled mother out of their first floor apartment.
We ran in, and she was like, in her bed, and we had to pick her up, try to get her in an electric chair, but her electric chair wasn't working once we got her in there, so then we just had to pick her up and drag her out. And then that was about the last person we could get out, and they said everybody was accounted for.
The roommates don't consider themselves heroes. They believe there was a bigger plan in place to give them the courage to alert neighbors with flames swirling around them.
He happened to put us there and get us knocking on doors.
As you can hear behind me, the smoke detectors are still going off in this building where 22 people once lived. The Red Cross is also helping out with the victims associated with this fire. The Avalon Apartments is also taking donations for the fire victims impacted by the early Friday morning fire. Tenants in Building O lost everything, and only 3 tenants had renter's insurance. Clothes, shoes, beauty and hygiene products filled this room at the apartment's main office. The manager says the room is set up for those impacted by the fire to come in and shop and get what they need. If you would like to donate, call Avalon Apartments in Starkville or drop by the front desk to drop off your items. For now, reporting live in Starkville, Jory Talley, WCBI News.
All right, thanks, Jory. Student organizers at Mississippi State are working to bring awareness to sexual assault. College campuses across the country, including MSU, are observing It's On Us Week. The events give students tools to recognize and defend against potential sexual assault situations. Today's event starts the week off with asking people to take the pledge to put a stop to sexual assault.
A lot of individuals don't realize the gravity of sexual assault on their own college campus. We often see it spoken about on other college campuses and across the country. But when it comes to Mississippi State, a lot of individuals don't realize that this is a problem here as well.
Last year, MSU reported 17 cases of sexual assault.
An area organization is helping a family open the door on a new life.
We take you to the special homecoming when we come back.
Welcome back, everyone. A Lee County woman is now a homeowner thanks to an organization that helps make the American dream a reality.
WCBI's Allie Martin has more from Verona, where the area's newest Habitat for Humanity home was dedicated.
Also, I know the most important thing for you.
Daphne Waldrop has waited 3.5 years to get the keys to her new home. The Lee County resident will live in this 4-bedroom, 2-bath house with her 2 grandkids. While Daphne waited for her dream home, she helped Habitat for Humanity build others.
I've worked on 5 houses. You learn how to use a hammer and a nail. You learn how to measure, and you see how the house is being put together. Sweat equity.
Along with that sweat equity, Daphne has also learned about the responsibilities of owning and maintaining a home. Habitat homes aren't free, but they do provide a path to home ownership for those willing to put in the work.
We say we're giving people a hand up, not a handout. We're trying to show, we're trying to give people the opportunity to invest in their own home before they become a homeowner, so they actually know how to make those repairs, who to call.
Daphne will start moving into her home in the next few days, just in time for a huge Thanksgiving celebration.
Big family dinner.
In Verona, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Congratulations to her. Habitat homeowners have an affordable 20-year mortgage. Northeast Mississippi Habitat for Humanity has 2 more projects in the works.
A little bit cooler on Tuesday. Our Halloween high generally in the low and mid 60s around here. It should be a little bit warmer across the southern part of the Twin States, mainly into the 70s. We'll be back with your full forecast, though, just a few minutes.
Your First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Back to school we go with meteorologist Alex Puckett at Island Middle School in Louisville today, speaking to an 8th grade science class, talking about high and low pressure, jet stream, hurricanes, tornadoes. We've actually had a pretty active hurricane season, so always good to talk about. And we are about ready to get into November, which is a little uptick in our tornado potential here in the Deep South. So always good things to know as we get into some active times of the year. So Alex was down there in Louisville today. Now tomorrow, Tuesday, is Halloween. Let's talk about our Halloween. Beware of the ghosts and goblins here as we check out our Halloween forecast. You can see that we do have some spooky conditions perhaps. Well, not so much from Mother Nature. We will see highs during the day in the low and mid 60s. During the evening, mid to low 50s with increasing clouds. But no rain, no significant problems for us tomorrow. But it can be very warm on Halloween. Just a year ago, we were flirting with 90 degrees in Starkville and all of northeast Mississippi. That was 1 year ago, hard to believe. But we can be very chilly. Sometimes Halloween has had a high below 40 degrees and we can see several inches of rain on Halloween. But this year, no problems. A live look in downtown Columbus right now, looking back to the west at 618. The sun has gone down. And here's a live view in Vernon, Alabama. Same story, clear across our region. As we look ahead, the freeze threat is now done for a while. It's going to take the back seat for a while. Rain chances will start to go up. Temperatures and humidity will be on the rise later this week as well. We'll take a little step back tomorrow as far as the heat is concerned, but we'll really ramp it up later this week. Let's talk about the humidity. Dew point value is very low, very dry air right now, but by Thursday and beyond, those numbers creep back up into the 50s and 60s, and that just tells you and tells me that there will be more moisture in the air that could support some showers and thunder showers. Again, no issues for Tuesday, Halloween, Wednesday, that rain chance 40%. We'll see how this all plays out. At least we have an opportunity for some rain around here. We have some drought conditions developing. Any drop that we get is welcome. Mainly clear now this cold tonight. No frost, no freeze threat here. Low and mid 40s. And for our day Tuesday or Halloween, around 60 in the north, mid to upper 60s south of Highway 82. There's the front just sneaking on into our region right now. And we will see that little wind shift later tonight. But there really are no clouds or rain showers associated with the front in our neck of the woods, so it will move through dry. That area of low pressure out there in Arizona will give us that chance for some showers midweek. There's the front coming on through as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours. And Clouds will gradually increase during the day tomorrow. 60s during the day, 50s for trick-or-treating tomorrow, so it looks pretty good. The clouds thicken tomorrow night, and Wednesday, here come the showers, and we'll have to contend with that little rain opportunity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe even into Saturday too. But mid-70s by Thursday, pushing 80 degrees again for the weekend. Don't forget about the time change Sunday morning.
Some Noxubee County residents are without water tonight. Crews are fixing a water leak and say those living from Sandyland Road to Prairie Point Road and north to Tom Bennett Road don't have water. It has been out since around 1 o'clock this afternoon. The maintenance supervisor, Dean Washington, says crews are working quickly to get that water back on. Coming up, it's Coach Talk Monday. We'll hear from Dan Mullen, Matt Luke, and Nick Saban going into Week 10 of SEC football. That's coming up next in sports.
WCDI First Alert Weather School is brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point. WCDI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
It's become an annual tradition among Mississippi State football fans. Which head coaching job will Dan Mullen be linked to next? Well, it's back. After Florida parted ways with Jim McElwain, the links to Scott Strickland and the Gators have already come up, but Mullen prefers to focus on the job that he has right now in Starkville.
I'm in a great position here. I think we've been able to build this program up. Built the facility. I've had my hand in how the facility's been built. We've been able to recruit the type of players that we want to recruit into our system. I have unbelievable support from our athletic director, who is also a coach, who has a great understanding of what we're trying to do. I might be one of the most fortunate coaches in the country with our president of the university, who is a football player and loves ball. There's not a whole lot of presidents you'll see that are. You can't find a lot of videos of presidents dancing in locker rooms like you have of our president after certain games.
We'll talk about actual football in Mississippi State coming up later, promise. At Ole Miss, the Rebels are licking their wounds following a tough loss to Arkansas, but the question posed to interim head coach Matt Luke this week is about his team's talent level, most especially how will they build that up on the recruiting trail right now with the issues off the field, and how are they pitching their program to kids?
I think offensively they see opportunities to play, so that's always a positive. And then, offensively and just the numbers that you put up and how explosive that we are, and you just stay in it. You just stay close. Say, hey, man, look, you have opportunities to come in and help us, and you stay close. And then when all the NCAA stuff, goes through, then you just stay right there in position. You're ready to strike. Because I do think Ole Miss, I've said this before, people want to come to Ole Miss. Kids, nobody comes to the Grove or comes to a game that they don't want to come back to. So Ole Miss sells itself. You just got to be in great position so when all the stuff does go through, you're right there in position to strike.
At Alabama, the Tide are gearing up for another nighttime matchup with LSU. Bama will almost certainly be the #1 team in the first college football playoff poll this season. That'll be revealed tomorrow night. But Nick Saban was asked about that poll, and that gave the Tide's head coach a chance to respond.
I could care less about the poll. What significance does a poll have right now? All we're talking about here is the challenge of our season and where are we going to be in the poll if we don't play well in the next 4 games. So I'm focusing on the next 4 games. I could care less about the poll. You won't see me wasting any time watching TV or watching who's 1, who's 2, and it really doesn't matter. If our players think anything of it, then that could be a problem and an issue too. These are the things that we try to categorize as poison that you really don't want your players to be focusing on or thinking about. But I appreciate you asking so I could get this off my chest.
Feisty Nick Saban is my favorite Nick Saban, by the way. The Tide and the Tigers will be 7 p.m. right here on WCBI this Saturday. We'll also have South Carolina Georgia for you at 2:30. UMass MSU will be 11 a.m. kick, so get up early, Bulldog fans. It'll be your last 11 a.m. kick, probably the rest of the season, so you'll be fine. Just deal with it. And Ole Miss, Kentucky, 3 p.m. on the SEC Network. And then a pretty interesting matchup. Jay Hobson and Southern Miss going to Knoxville this Saturday. If Butch Jones and Tennessee happens to lose that game, we could see another coaching opening in the SEC, but that's just pure speculation on my part. But right now, the SEC coaching rumor mill is just flown off the tracks.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a bunch out there.
Seems like we always go through that at this time of year, but that's just the way it goes.
Wait till the end of the season.
Yeah, let's get to the end of the season first, then we'll really get going.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Very nice weather for Halloween. A little bit cooler than today. Rain chances go up a little bit starting Wednesday. They'll continue on and off again into the weekend, but temperatures will be warming up. If you're sick
80.
of the cold weather, here comes the heat.
I know.
We've got 2 or 3 days of cold weather.
I was going to say that
there
was
you go.
short-lived.
There you go.
All right, thanks so much. Thank you for joining us, everyone.